All right. Both game sevens in the book. It's not the experts coming at you with the post game. What am I thinking of? Post game coverage here.
Reaction.
Yeah,
Not the experts reacts to the game seven.
bang, bang. After a mollywhopping from the Celtics, 101-77 Bucks, and the Mavericks 123-90 over the Suns. Didn't we already talk about last week? We were going to do a scale, the tiers of a mollywhopping. We definitely got to get that into the works so we can define both these matchups because they were both god awful.
At least Celtics Bucks gave us a good half, right?
Yeah,
like they at least contributed for like a half.
You thought it was going to be a good game. So speaking of Bucks and Celtics, this is how we will kick off our discussion on that with our favorite news segment.
Yes.
What are the magic words?
Got 8.
Hey.
So, Earvin Magic Johnson with the magic words. It was a total team effort by the Boston Celtics tonight. Williams was the star of the game with 27 points and 6 rebounds, and 5 guys ended in double figures. Tatum with 23 points, Brown with 19 points, Pritchard with 14 points, and Smart with 11 points! Exclamation point. Thank you, Magic, for summing up that awesome performance by the Boston Celtics. What are your thoughts, Titus?
I don't think I can sum the game up any better than that.
No.
I don't think I can. I think that's about the best summary anybody can give for this basketball game, man.
Yeah.
You see exactly what happened. He didn't specify what Williams gave him 27 points.
That'd be Grant Williams.
Yeah, that would be Grant Williams. So we do need to clarify that. It was not Robert Williams. He did not play today. He is still nursing his injury. So let's clarify that much. Yeah. That's exactly what happened in the game. 5 guys had double figures and Grant Williams had 27 points.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's basketball.
I thought it was perfect because I really have no takes for this game, to be honest. My only one take is if Chris Middleton was in the series, I think the Bucks definitely would have won the series. And it really showed for the first time Chris Middleton was a huge miss for the Bucks in that second half because they pretty much they figured out Giannis in the second half. Giannis was able to do what he wanted to in the first. But second half came around, they were good at slowing him down, neutralizing him. And after that, all you had to do is take away Drew Holiday, and they did a pretty decent job at that as well. So the Bucks became lost for words on offense, really.
Do you have to take away Drew Holiday, or is Drew Holiday just living his own offensive bubble?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You don't have to. But
I know you're saying.
Neutralize him a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have that secondary scoring. Like they don't have anybody that can stop the bleeding if Giannis off. And I think Giannis was gassed. Like he had to put up 40 points back-to-back games. He has had a 40 and 20, and they lost by double digits. Like I think he was just done.
Yeah,
and like he was spent. And the guy's breaking every 3 he had. Like he had 6 assists in the first quarter.
Yeah,
and he could have had. He probably could have just like 15 if anyone made a 3. Like literally anyone. Literally, like they went 4 for 33, and that's not gonna get it done, man. That's not gonna get it done. And what do you think about the Bucks' defensive? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say on top of that, they were really starting to miss him on defense as well. That became evident because Boston, even though the defense really wasn't that bad by the Bucks, Boston hit almost 23s or around there. They were shooting lights out. So not having Middleton there to help guard Jason Tatum and some of those other guys, it was pretty bad.
And you know who else they really missed on that end?
Who's that?
PJ Tucker.
Yes. Yeah.
Should have went to the tax. Don't be cheap. Well, I guess they are on the tax, but don't be cheap. You're already in the tax. Just go further in debt. That's how you got. You got out of debt by going into more debt. That's like, 101.
Everybody knows that.
Right? Like, I mean, the billionaires. Maybe they should have cut down on their daily cup of coffee. Should have made it at home, and then they could have had the money to afford Chris Middleton to afford PJ Tucker because that money saved could have equaled some PJ Tucker money.
All they had to do was download the Truebill app.
That's it. See all their expenses. That is it.
Exactly.
What did you think about the Bucks? What do you think about the Bucks' defensive strategy of just like we're gonna give up these threes? Like, I understand they didn't want to get killed by Tatum and Brown, so they kind of were like neutralizing them, letting the role players kill them. But like, I don't know. At a certain point, this feels like that's a strategy that when it works, it's cool because the three is like the most difficult shot to hit, right? At the same time, you are giving up way too many guys that can stop the bleeding.
I don't like that. I don't like that strategy ever, really, when you're playing a good shooting team, especially in playoff scenarios. I don't like ever starting out with that strategy because you're pretty much allowing those players to get warm-up shots. I mean, if you're going to give them the three, then fine. They'll miss a bunch probably at the beginning, but you're just giving them more attempts for the ball to eventually go in and for them to find a rhythm. If you're going to come out second half and make that adjustment and just let somebody, let a team beat you by threes, I'm okay with that, but never start off the game with it. And then I got confused in the second half. Really, I didn't know if they were just intentionally still letting up threes or if they were just so tired and they were getting lost on their defense.
Yeah, because I know that, everyone said the Bucks strategy all year is basically we will let you shoot threes. That's why they're a good regular season defensive team because they just kind of give up those 3-point shots. But, man, you just got to have some adjustments in there at some point, right? Because, Grant Williams take 18 threes is cool. Like, I know you kind of want to force that. But once like you said, once those guys start hitting, man, you got to switch it up.
Yeah.
Because once role players get rolling at home in a playoff game, it can get dark.
Yes.
Especially at Boston. It's not the Garden anymore, is it? What is it? Is it TD?
Yeah, it's Garden? Like the TD Ameritrade Garden.
Yeah. Like you don't want that to happen, And I feel like they just play into their hands too much. And then, like you said, this unable to get anything going offensively with Giannis being done. Like I said earlier, man, they basically asked Giannis put up 40 and 23 games in a row, and that's just not feasible.
Yeah.
And even if he did, they might still would have lost. That's the crazy part. I guarantee you they would have won if he did that today, But congrats to Boston, man. It feels like this is their best moment to get it done. It feels like they kind of have to get it done now. So getting that second round is a big deal. Getting to the conference finals is a big deal because it does show that the Tatum and Brown pairing can work for something, right? Like you see that this can work. They have the pieces that they have the coaching. Ime Udoka has clearly built the trust up in that locker room.
Yes.
My biggest gripe with this game was that third quarter stretch where it was like a foul every time someone dribbled the ball.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God.
The officiating sucks.
And it was only, did you notice it was on like Kane Fitzgerald calling everything?
No, I didn't. I didn't even know.
My man's had every foul. I'm going to see you a picture.
Fitzgerald was, bro, when you text me.
I'm going to see you a picture of him. And then you'll understand. You'll know exactly why. You'll recognize it. Let me see this.
He probably looks like a cop.
He kind of does, honestly. You know what he looks like? He looks like the cop that kind of used to be active, and now he's like has a desk job. He knows all the corrupt stuff, and he like makes sure all the paperwork gets lost. That's what he looks like now.
Yeah.
All the administrative paperwork just disappears.
So he's moved up as commissioner. He's a dirty
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The body cams be off. He knows how to make sure the body cam footage is off.
Yeah, he's got a little a kill switch at his desk for all the body cams.
Yes. Yeah.
I know I said I'm waiting for this to load. This dude looks like the guy who always wanted to be a cop but can never pass, the police force training. So he ended up just being like a clerk at the cop station and just tells everybody he's a cop. My other take is kind of twofold, and that is if the MVP was a postseason award as well as a regular season award, give it to Giannis for all those people who are like throwing the whole postseason performances on MVP awards. And along with that, Giannis being MVP, I think the most impressive thing out of this whole series is how it took all the way till the second half of Game 7 to make it noticeable that Chris Middleton wasn't there. Because we talked about the experts, everyone talked about the series as if Chris Middleton was there. Nobody acknowledged the fact that the Bucks are missing their main number 2 guy in these playoffs. And so that's what's crazy. And nobody really factored that into their analysis, what I heard.
Nah, I agree with that. Like, it was, the Bucks were getting through without him, but no one was really paying attention to, like, it's one of those things, man. I say it all the time, bro. Things don't matter till they matter.
Yeah.
It mattered, man. It mattered a lot. That second half, it mattered a lot because they had nobody that could just go, all right, let me give you a bucket real quick. And Middleton, so you saw the Celtics fans are terrified of Chris Middleton because he just kills them. He puts up his career stuff against them. So they are terrified of Chris Middleton, So, yeah, man, missing him, it meant a lot for the Bucks in this series. When it mattered, like I said, when it mattered, man. Because that that Grayson Allen and Pat Connaughton thing was not getting it done.
Nope.
The Wes Matthews thing. And what's crazy is I feel like defensively, I really do feel like they did an amazing job on Tatum and Brown. You know.
Oh, they were just hitting tough shots.
Yeah, they were making them work, man. I feel like they did a great job on them. It's just that strategy sacrificed way too much in this situation, especially when you have the firepower to match it. You know, you have nothing to come back on it with, and things got out of hand. It got dark. So, hey, Celtics Heat, man. Celtics Heat.
We won't go into that next. I guess we can move on. Do you have any other takes you want to give before we move on to Dallas Phoenix?
Nah, let's get Dallas Phoenix. Let's go ahead and get to this slaughter.
So we're going to start out this conversation with a few stats, Titus. And
oh boy, stats.
Stat number 1 from Stat News. Chris Paul is the first player ever to blow 5 2-0 leads in a best-of-7 series. Do you think this is a little bit of a stretch on just dunking on Chris Paul, or do you think that he deserves this criticism? Because I thought it was a little bit of a stretch, but I'm like, it's still pretty bad, though.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the 2-0 lead, I feel like we don't call 2-0 leads blown that much, right?
Yeah.
Like teams, the 2-0 lead isn't looked at like that. You know, I'm not too big on it. It just looks bad in the whole Chris Paul picture. In the Chris Paul of it all, it looks nasty, but it does kind of feel like a stretch. But Lord have mercy, man, that was abysmal, dreadful performance.
This is just the cherry on top of the I don't know, Chris Paul garbage playoff milkshake.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
like right. Like I feel like people had Doc Rivers is gone, so people need someone else to call blown leads since Doc is gone. We didn't get the blown lead Doc this series since they just lost. So I think people had to pivot to Chris, you know. But nah, man, this was a bad way to go out, bro. This is nasty work.
Speaking of blowing leads or elimination games, look, a lot of people's arguments who had Dallas going into this game said, hey, Luka doesn't lose, which you couldn't say Luka doesn't lose elimination games because
he for sure does
elimination games. It's that Luka doesn't go out like a bee in elimination games. At least he's still going to get his. So Luka Doncic in elimination games so far out of the 4 in his career, he had 39-9 tonight. He's at 46-7-14, 33-11-8, 35-10-4. He's averaging 38.3 points per game in these elimination games, which is the highest in NBA history. Luka Magic. Also Luka scored. He had 27 points in the first half, which is also what the Suns' total was for the first half as well.
Bro.
Luka Magic.
That dude is just, he's like that, bro. Like Luka is 100% that. And there's no like arguing or disputing. Like he is that dude. I think the problem has been with him, right? Is he has taken on too much of an offensive load. You know, he does try to do too much at times. Like these totals are great, but like you can see he used to gas himself out because he was doing too much.
Yep.
You know, this game he got it, but he didn't kill himself doing it because he trusted everybody and they were on fire. I gotta give credit. I didn't expect to do this season, but I had to give Jason Kidd credit.
Yes, dude. Wow. I mean, that's one guy we could maybe argue got snubbed for coach. Even, of course, like Monty Williams deserves it, but was Jason Kidd even in discussion for coach of the year?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I'm
really not. Yeah,
his performance has been overlooked.
More than anything, like, you know, the XO stuff, I'm not gonna like I'm an XO expert, but like more than anything, what I see him do consistently is challenge Luka in a way that Rick Carlisle couldn't. He will publicly be like, yeah, Luka's got to stop doing that. Or we need better from him on defense. You know, he can't get away with that. Or like he needs to stop playing to the ref so much. Like he will publicly, and I'm sure he does in private too. Like he will call Luka out, and Luka hasn't had that, and Luka's responded to it very well. Yeah, you know, like he's pulled the best out of Luka. He's made that team play defense, which I didn't think was possible. He's pulled a solid defensive team out of that group. Man, he's done an amazing job. I think you heard it this week. They're saying he told Luka, just give us 2 more seconds on offense. So we can get something done. We can help you. You know, you going so fast. Like, just give it 2 more seconds. And ever since he said he's been doing it. And look what happened.
So speaking of his supporting cast, Luka had 39. Dinwiddie dropped 30 points tonight. I believe Brunson had 24. And
is Dinwiddie trying to get his contract deconverted from crypto back to real money? Is that why he did this?
What's funny too is if you look at Spencer Dinwiddie's performance, like of this whole season and playoffs on a chart, it looks like a crypto chart, stock chart. It's just up and down stock keeps moving every day drastically. You never know what you're going to get from Spencer Dinwiddie, but he was able to contribute 30 points. Brunson contributed, I believe, 24, and 22 of those points were in the second half. So Luka, I mean, you pretty much got to sit
Luka took the second half off.
Yeah.
Luka I don't think he played a minute. Yeah, he didn't play a minute in the fourth quarter, I don't believe. I don't think he played a single second in the fourth. That was crazy, man. I think what stood out to me was that it was in the middle of the third, I think, or maybe close to the fourth. There was not a single Suns player in double digits.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's going to move me. Thank you, Titus. Okay. Thank you for that segue. I'm sure you probably saw this tweet.
Did he get deleted?
Around. Do what?
Did he get deleted? Because I tried to pull it up and it wouldn't show up.
Oh, really?
Let me see. Yeah, because I don't know if maybe it was my Twitter was acting crazy.
Because somebody might have fact checked it and Zach Lowe might have had to delete it. So anyway, Zach Lowe hits up Stats Williams on a tweet and he says, "Tell me if a team's 5 starters have ever scored exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 points in an NBA half. Chris Paul had 1 point, Devin Booker had 2 points, Ayton had 3 points, Mikal Bridges had 4 points, and Jameson J. Crowder had 5 points. Crazy. Absolutely crazy." And then Zach Lowe comes back about a half hour later with an update on the tweet. He says that is actually not the first time it's ever happened, but it's the first time it's happened since November 29th, 1999. It was the Warriors against the Jazz, and the top 5 starters were Tony Farmer, Anton Jamison, Mookie Blaylock, Donald Foyle, and Tim Legler. Bro,
thanks.
That is a fantastic list of subpar players, bro. Fantastic. Like we all know the names, and we all know they were just role players. They had a role and they could do it, but that's about it.
The Warriors went through a lot of dark days.
Yeah, they did.
Like, I understand. I mean, I'm not fully aware of 1999 basketball, but I can't imagine that was a killer lineup. That just doesn't sound like it should be a starting lineup anywhere. We have to deep dive further into this because now I have to go to Basketball Reference because I need to see this direct game.
So is the tweet not?
It's still up. Yeah, it's still up.
It is still up.
It's still up. Yeah, it just wouldn't pull up. It's like I still got World notifications on, and it wouldn't pull up.
I did not know Donald Foyle was playing in the league in 1999. I thought he got drafted in like the early 2000s.
Right?
Weird.
They lost to the Jazz 115 to 99 in this game.
Oh, so it wasn't a trouncing.
Nah, not too bad. Not too bad. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh, wow. This lineup. Good gracious. Whew. Yeah, Antoine James had 0 points after the first quarter, by the way.
Ooh.
So he stepped up in the second.
He did.
That team finished 19-63.
So, yeah,
this was the lineup. Yeah. That was
that's awesome.
Good gracious.
Right. I'm gonna move on in this presentation. I'm really trying to get to the great videos, but I can't remember it because Titus, I do have some videos for us to enjoy.
Ooh, videos! I'm excited.
Yeah, they're kind of at your expense. I'm sorry. I had
everything you do is at my expense. You never, everything you do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to do it though. But you're the one who texted me about it. We'll get to that. Oh yeah, I put in some funny tweets. Did you see this tweet? NBA Central tweeted back in 2021, at the beginning of the season. Chris Paul says he's addicted to playing in the NBA Finals. Quote, "Now that I've got a taste of what the experience is like, I'm sort of addicted." I can't read the name, it's blocked out, but somebody retweeted it and said, "Congratulations to Chris Paul for beating his addiction." There have been great tweets, bro. Great tweets. I mean, when I got on Twitter and at halftime, top 5 PGs and point guard were both trending right up under each other. Great. And I mean, Chris Paul, the name wasn't even trending. Just those 2 phrases were trending.
Bro, the fact that the Twitter is never better than when there's a blowout in the NBA.
Yes.
A playoff blowout in the NBA of a team that's supposed to be winning makes Twitter the best night. Yeah. Because everybody just goes crazy.
Especially, but I mean, these storylines though are the cherry on the top. Chris Paul, the troll of every year of Chris Paul. Because there's a big divide amongst NBA fans. Is Chris Paul an elite point guard or not? And then you also have the Booker Luka Doncic rivalry going on with that. Which Book, man, he went out sad, bro. That's bad.
That's an ugly way to go. That's an ugly way to go out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's like you talk too much, bro, and you played like that was a nasty way to go out at home.
Yeah.
I just knew he was gonna be like the thing with this team, man, is that Booker last year, the question was like, oh, Booker had been in the playoffs. How's he gonna act? And he acted like he's been there his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
And then this season, it's like this year to go out like that in your first game 7, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, that's nasty. And to me, I feel like it's kind of similar to both of them, but the Suns lost series. Like this was the ultimate front runner series.
Mm-hmm.
Because no game was close. Whoever got the lead was the team that won, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about the Suns' entire run. The 2 series they lost were the only series they were really challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Like from last year to this year, right? The Bucks series, they got challenged, they lost that in 6. This series, they got challenged, they lost it in 7. Every other series, they kind of ran through everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it really wasn't a fight. And I think even with the Clippers, right? The reputation with the Clippers were they were a front-running team when Chris Paul was there.
Yeah.
So I think something about his play style, because it's such a slow play style, so methodical, that when things go left, it's hard to get it back because we have to stay in our offense. We got to keep doing this. Then you're down 15, then you're down 23. You know, like it doesn't lend itself to a comeback.
Chris Paul's play style is, hey, keep us in the game all the way until the fourth quarter, and I'll be able to get us over the top. And Chris Paul did it again tonight. I mean, if you look at the stat line, he scored all his points in the fourth quarter.
It's like the Patriots Super Bowl stuff, right? Yeah. Like just keep the game close, fourth quarter, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
like, it's really what it's like, you know, because Patriots never had a blowout in Super Bowl. Every Super Bowl was close, and they pulled them out mostly. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really that. So I really think on that, is that play style the problem for when games get out of hand, they can't get them back?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like any team in college football who runs the triple option, bro. We know that's not a comeback team. If they're down by 3-4 touchdowns, it's going to take them a whole game to come back from that. So it's really hard to whittle down deficits. So yeah, Chris Paul, triple option point guard. Maybe that's what he is. We can work with that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, maybe
he's definitely the run first. He's definitely the run first team with the mediocre quarterback. It's like, oh, we got to throw the ball now.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, Ryan Tannehill.
I'm going to start calling Chris Paul Reggie Ball.
Oh, my God. Reggie Ball didn't run the triple option.
Oh, I thought he did. I thought he was one of the first
Reggie Ball had Calvin. Reggie had Calvin. Reggie had Calvin. He was active. Yeah.
Bro, Reggie Ball's like the only QB I know out of Georgia Tech, bro. He's like the last one making an impression on me.
For sure. He is the last one.
Yeah.
I was trying to think about there was a tweet of somebody like, guys, instead of going therapy, guys just name off random players from back in the day. Somebody sent it to me. And I was like, I said him back. I said, the Reggie Ball Yellow Jackets was a different team.
Bro. You know how I laughed at that because that is so accurate, bro. Like,
it's 100% accurate.
Whenever I'm riding down the road and I'm just in my own thoughts and I'm not in the best of moods, I just start thinking about early 2000s, 90s Braves baseball players, and they'll start thinking about early 2000s basketball players as well.
Yeah, when me and Josh used to do the weekly show back in our first rendition of Not the Experts, we would just name a random college quarterback. That's how we started every show. We would just name a random college QB, like a random obscure college QB. Not anybody great, just like anybody. Like Greg Paul, we just go out with Greg Paul. Start with a Greg Paulus conversation.
That's great.
So much fun. Like it's just fun to go down the route of random quarterbacks. There's nothing like the random college football quarterback because there's so many of them.
Oh yeah, it's so good, so good.
Logan Thomas was the quarterback.
Bro,
never forget.
No, yeah, I'll never forget that. And I'll never forget the day he was drafted, bro, because he still got drafted in front of AJ McCarron. I was so mad.
He's
got plugged in my laptop.
All right. Pause the recording.
Oh, no. It'll be quick. Charging right there.
Oh, okay. Bet.
All right. Next meme. This is the one you sent me.
Yes.
This is how long Chris Paul been choking.
Graphics have come a long way, dog.
Bro. They
Graphics have come so far.
Yeah. And you know what's amazing is that I'll never forget when I got my first video game console, which was the PlayStation 2, and the PlayStation 2s had just came out. And I remember hooking it up, my dad hooking it up, and I think we were playing MLB baseball, like the show or something. And I just remember him going, "Oh my God, wow, these graphics are amazing." I'll never forget that.
Yes, I remember that. Right, those same days. And I'm looking back like, wow, this was awesome back then. That's insanity. Yo, I do want to say a 2K Chris Paul. This is an aside on the jokes. 2K Chris Paul used to be my nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Like 2K, I want to say it was like 2K12. Mm-hmm. I still remember it. I think it was 2K12 at like a final series against them, and it went to 7 games. Like, It was just awful. It took me 7 games to figure out what to do. I was like, I'll just post him up every time, and he can't do anything. So I started posting, and ever since 2K12, I just posted up Chris Paul. I was terrified. It was awful. I won that final series, by the way, on a last minute on a steal with 30 seconds left. We got to steal with 30 seconds left to close the game out.
Nice.
Which I guess fits Chris Paul's entire career. But
yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. What year was Chris Paul drafted?
7? 08?
2007? I think it was earlier than that.
No, it might be 2006.
I was about to pull out like.
Wait, no. Was him and Dwight in the same draft class?
I want to say it was like 2004.
No, 2004 was LeBron then, wasn't it? No, 2000. Yeah,
2005
was LeBron then, wasn't it?
2005.
Okay. Yeah, was him and Dwight in the same draft class? That's what I'm trying to remember.
Who?
Him and Dwight Howard.
I don't believe.
Are they a year apart?
No, I don't think
they're a year or two apart. Oh no, Dwight was 07. Dwight was 07, I think. I'm bugging.
Yeah.
No, Dwight couldn't have been 07.
There's only 3 active players in the NBA from the class of 2005, and that's Chris Paul, Lou Williams, and CJ Miles.
Okay.
I didn't know CJ Miles has been in the league that long. But part of the reason why I threw this tweet in here is because looking at this image of 2005 Chris Paul, I had a revelation, Titus.
Dwight was 04. Dwight was 04. My bad.
Oh, okay. 04.
Yeah, LeBron was 03. I'm tripping.
Yeah, so
I had to get that out of my head.
You're good.
It was stressing me.
In this revelation and epiphany that I had, I actually want to take a different lane from the rest. Instead of jumping on Chris Paul and blaming him for being ringless and blowing all these playoff series, I actually want to come to his defense. And I want to say this isn't Chris Paul's fault why he's ringless. The sole responsibility lies in the hands of my team, my organization, the Atlanta Hawks, because it was destined to be, Titus. If Chris Paul and the Hawks were together, they would have gotten rings. And so it's God punishing, the Hawks and Chris Paul, really, because they were supposed to be together and they didn't make it happen. So I would like to propose the theory that if Chris Paul, even though his contract goes till 2025, I wouldn't be mad at the Hawks making a move for Chris Paul. Yeah, would it be crazy to do that and give up assets for Chris Paul and for that contract? Yeah, it would be crazy. But I'm here for crazy now, Titus. I'm here to throw the kitchen sink out the window. Are
you proposing a Trae Young for Chris Paul
swap? No. I'm not proposing a trade because as we know, if there is one point guard who has proven he can play with another ball dominant player, it is Chris Paul with James Harden in the Houston Rockets. So Chris Paul knows how to step in and play with a point guard who is ball dominant. And I mean, he's aging, so it might help him out a little bit.
So you want 2 sub 6'3" guards on your team at the same time?
Occasionally. They don't have to always be on the court together.
I understand. Yeah. Okay.
And those are 2 huge defensive liabilities there. So
very much so. Yeah. So I have a counter theory to the Chris Paul ringless argument. Like, I love your theory, but I do want to present the counter theory. That he who consistently hits people in the nuts shan't not become champion. That's my counter theory.
I like that. I didn't know that was a thing until maybe you sent it to me, or I saw a tweet on Twitter about that. It was like, did you send that to me?
I might have. He's been doing it since college.
Yeah, somebody was like, I think somebody tweeted during halftime that Mavericks better get their nuts ready or something like that because Chris Paul's coming out swinging.
Yeah, bro. Like he's been doing it since college.
I didn't know
like
that.
A yearly, yeah, it's like a yearly event. Yeah, he didn't do that when he was at Wake Forest. I forget his name. Yeah.
Okay.
Clean one. Yeah. Julius Hodges. I think it was Julius Hodges. Yeah.
Okay.
He's been doing it since then. It's insane.
All right. Well, I'm a move
That's
on.
my counter theory. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's your counter theory.
That's my counter theory. Yeah.
I like it. I can't remember. Oh, here we go. You ready? You ready for this, yeah. Titus? All right.
Talk to me.
Here's Titus's take from last week that has not been released for public records. And the only reason why I'm bringing this back, Titus, is because I had to go listen to it after you texted me about this earlier. Anyways, let's just go on with it.
Hey, yo, the Suns still kind of have a chance in this game while they've played terribly, which says a lot to me about where they are as a franchise, the Suns, as organizations. Like, they are not afraid. They are not worried. You know, like, they got that one contender to be a title contender. Because a lot of teams, that game would have gotten out of hand for a lot of teams, but didn't get out of hand. It really never got fully out of hand for them until the very end. Like, they always felt like they had a shot to win. I remember even at halftime, I'm like, why is Dallas only up 12 and shoot like 40% from three? And the Suns look like they're playing terribly. Like, why does it still feel like they have a chance to win this game, you know? And that's what stuck out to me. But like the Suns thing is like, we'll keep it close, fourth quarter, we're taking over, you're out of here. You know, kind of things seems like what they do. Now if Dallas figure something out, it's highly possible because Luka was fine not having the ball in his hands a lot. You know, he was fine like letting those guys get going a little earlier and distribute it. That does change dynamic of the series a little bit. But I gotta edge Phoenix still in this series. I still think that's too much. I find that way too much.
Yeah, so you pretty much reiterated what we talked about earlier about how Phoenix is, hey, keep it close to the fourth quarter, and usually they prevail. It got cut out a little bit at the beginning. I don't know. I did find it funny that you mentioned, kind of said the Suns have more character than Dallas does. So that's why you pretty much believe in them for the rest of the series.
Oh, yeah, I trusted them. I trust them for sure because I don't like teams that don't shoot on the road. I just don't like teams that don't bring shooting with them on the road. Yeah. They annoy me. But then Phoenix, Dallas decided, hey, you know what? Dallas fans, it's not that far apart. We could probably still shoot. Like I feel like somebody touched the rim. Was like, guys, it's just a basketball rim. It's not different.
Yeah,
it's not different. And then suddenly everybody's like, what? It's like they made a discovery and now hit all the threes, every three.
Yeah.
Every three presented.
Yeah. So I'm trying to go back. Let me find the text. Maybe I can't find it. Oh, yeah. You text me.
When I asked if you picked the Mavericks.
Yeah, you said who you got for real, though. Yeah. I said between Suns and Mavs. I'm sticking with my Mavs pick. And you said, when did you pick them? And I said, in the pod. I said, really, I think they can pull it off. And then you called me out for hedging. And I said, you're the one who asked me.
You did. Yo, I didn't remember. I don't remember what I be saying. Yeah. I know. I'll be remembering for one. And then secondly, you would take Spin Master. So like you might not pick. I'd be having to check with you because you might not have made the pick. But then you'll be like, yeah, I picked them 3 weeks ago, but then I changed my mind the week before after that. And then I'll be forgetting where every gets blended in my head. So I'll be having to double check you. Because you a take master, you a spin master like me.
No, in my skill set on my ratings, my overall, my 2K or Madden, my backpedaling skills are crazy. Like 99.
Oh, you got a 9. Yeah, you a 99. You a 99 on the back pedal.
I appreciate that.
Check. Yeah,
but we'll go on to the next video. It's short, but
up your spicy a little bit. I actually think Dallas will pull this off.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to win 2 games.
I gotta go. So I had to clip this, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn that into a meme or a GIF,
that's definitely a meme.
Really?
That's gotta be a meme. Yeah. I was shocked, man. I did not think Dallas could win 2 games back to back.
Yeah.
I really did not think they could do that.
I believe they could. Mainly it was the playing on the road thing that was big for me. Yeah. But what you had just mentioned earlier, saying, hey, if Mavericks had pretty much figured out to play with Luka not having to have the ball the whole time or Luka playing off ball, then they have a great chance of winning this. Brunson and did when he stepped up tonight and did what they had to. But I just think in the edge, bro, even though I love how the narrative flipped too in these playoffs when it, especially between like the Book and Luka conversation, because Book ended up finishing 4th in MVP, and he was like one outside name or the one guard that has been touted talking about MVP. Nobody really talked about Doncic, which I don't even know his season numbers. I don't even know if there's much of a case for him to even be in that conversation. Now, you see how it's all swapped now. Yeah. So I think that was kind of crazy. And I just always believed he's the better player. So Doncic could step up in these clutch situations compared to Book.
Yeah, the playoff retrospective be annoying me. The hindsight post playoff run, oh, maybe he should have been in the MVP running. How about that? Like, I hate it so much. It gets on my nerves. But I gotta give it to Book because Book did, when Chris Paul went down, Book did keep the Suns afloat, you know what I'm saying, without him. So I do think that lends credence to like him why he was up there, because they finished first again. Paul was out for some time. They didn't miss a beat with Booker running the show. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why Book got the vote. Why did Lil Wayne tweet this?
Yeah. So this is apparently what Ja Morant's tweet was about. I'd sent it to you or whatever, and that's been trending. I forgot I even had this in there. I was just going to the end of the presentation. But yeah, Lil Wayne called Luka a hoe.
I saw Wayne on the sideline. I'm like, why is Lil Wayne in Phoenix? Who's he cheer for in Phoenix?
I guess he's a Phoenix fan.
I guess. I mean, he's a Green Bay Packers fan, so he could be anything.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think he'd be a Pelicans fan, but
yeah, I don't think he might be the I don't cheer for my home team guy, which I understand. It's just,
is this where Drake got it from?
Right. No, wasn't he with the no? Wasn't he trying to support? He trying to go to the Heat games at one point when they had the big three?
Who, Luka or Drake?
No, Wayne.
Lil Wayne. Yeah. I think he was there. He was there.
Yeah. Because I remember it was a thing because he got kicked out of the OK. They had let him in the OKC arena or something one time. See, he
really?
was on the list. Yeah, it became a big internet thing. Oh, but then he had a thing with Chris Bosh too. He had a thing with Chris Bosh.
Oh, like an incident or something? Yeah,
he was like, maybe after that, he claimed he did something with Chris Bosh's wife at one point.
Oh,
before Chris and his wife were married. I think he did do that at one point.
I see. I might have to go look that up.
Yeah, it was.
I have a question for you.
Talk to me.
So, I'm gonna ask this question and then let me follow it, because you're probably gonna think this is a really stupid question, and I kind of think it is. But anyways. What does this victory and this series win do for Luka's legacy? And I only want to pose that question because I had that same question posed to me about Ja Morant. Somebody asked me if Ja Morant, if the Grizzlies pull this off against the Warriors, what does this do for Ja Morant's legacy? And I was kind of dumbfounded. I didn't have much of an answer. And I started getting accused of being a Ja hater. And I was like, well, I really don't get the question, because we're going to factor in one playoff series, to be to be a dot on the resume of a legacy. No, I don't get that. But it seems pretty even to me now, because definitely in the books, on paper, this is an undermatched team against the Suns. This is Luka putting a team on his back and being young doing it. Would you say does this add to anything for Luka and his legacy?
This to me is similar to the 07 LeBron beating the Pistons.
Yeah, getting past the Pistons.
I don't think it's exactly that, but I think it's on that level. I'm close to that. That's the closest comparison I have, because this is a team that just went to the finals the year before, a team that just that's been the staple in the West the last couple of years. The Pistons had a longer run at the top, but he killed the number one seed on the road with a great performance. Like he kills the amount. It reminded me of that. It gives me that feel with the overmatched roster. Like I think they have some pieces that fit pretty well, but it's not, that roster shouldn't have won. They shouldn't have won this series. They had no business winning this series. Especially after those first two games of it, it's like, okay, they're done. If you those first two games of this series, it does feel like they had no shot in it. The legacy thing is so interesting to me, because I think we're of a similar vein. Like I think people are too obsessed trying to make legacies out of like guys who've been in the league for 4 years. Yeah. Like these guys haven't been here long enough to talk about that, have legacy talk.
That was my argument.
Yeah.
My counter and my example in my counter argument was, okay, well, what did Trae Young beating the 76ers do for his legacy last year? I mean, everybody's calling him a bum this year. So yeah, how can you even,
I feel like everybody's everybody wants to like be a part of saying they're like called something first now.
Yeah.
And like act like everything's historic. And it's like just let things play out a little bit. I think this is good for Luka because this is like I said, this is his fourth elimination game. And he's lost other ones. And this one he closed out. He finally they got that full closeout he needed. Because he ain't got the first round. This first time out of the first round. We ran to the Clippers back-to-back years, but they played him tough, but they beat him ultimately. This first time out of the first round, he gets to the conference finals. I think that's a big deal to add to like for the people that are still kind of Luka detractors, which I do get to an extent because his game does get frustrating at times to watch when he's just doing the James Harden. I have the ball all the time. I'm just going to do everything. It does get frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
But I think this adds to this like, okay, so you there you are. Now you're here. Yeah. Like you're really, this is like kind of the last barrier he needed to just finally kind of kill some more of that noise. Cause they got house money, bro. They ain't got to win. They ain't got to win the series.
Yeah.
They didn't have to beat the Warriors. They don't.
Yeah.
They're good.
Now, if we're talking about Luka winning the finals and the Mavs winning the finals, or even just getting to the finals and making it interesting, now that's where I'm willing to start putting things down on legacy.
Yeah.
Because if he wins it, I mean, that's where we can start going, oh, that's the first team to do it without multiple superstars in a minute, in a while. Yeah.
Well, since Toronto, I guess, right?
Yeah. And you can definitely make the argument Toronto had a better supporting cast.
Right. Toronto was built perfectly. They just needed Kawhi. Yeah. They just needed Kawhi. They just needed a Kawhi.
Yeah. Literally. The good thing about Dallas as well, I started thinking about this when it became, when I woke up and it was very evident that the Mavs were going to win this. I started thinking, because as a Hawks fan, I just started thinking this, are they peaking too early? Are they going to make the same mistake the Hawks did? And then I thought, no, you know what? They got Mark Cuban as the owner. He's not going to get fooled by this. He knows there's going to be some improvements to be made. Does that mean Dallas is going to land any players they want to really land? No, but at least they're going to know they can't stay stagnant.
He'll burn it down trying.
Yes.
Mark will burn it down trying for sure. Yes. He's proven that.
Yeah.
This does make me wonder if, hey, can they finally get somebody in there? Because like you said, Mark's been trying to get people in there for years and it hasn't worked. Can they finally actually pull it off?
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Yeah, the big picture here is very, very interesting. Yeah.
Because really the final piece I would say for them is if they can pretty much keep that whole cast together, they're going to have to re-sign Brunson and he's going to want a good amount of money, which he deserves it.
Right.
But they're going to need somebody as a 4 or 5, like a pretty strong 4 or 5. And that's where I made the argument when we were talking about Trae versus Luka. That's where you can throw somebody in like Capella and be like, okay, you know what? That takes them over the top a little bit.
Exactly.
Is that for Trae Young? Does Capella do that for Trae Young? No, but it does that for a Luka and his Mavs cast.
Truthfully, Rudy would be perfect there. But
that's a lot of money.
I don't know. Right. I don't know. This is the money, and I don't know how much depth I'm willing to trade off to get that.
Yeah.
To get Rudy. Like, I'd much rather try and go after Capella if I'm them this off season. And that's a much better move. I'm with you on that. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. They need just that strong center defensive presence to really anchor the paint.
Yeah. Well,
DeAndre Ayton might be available.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think Ayton's going to get moved because
did you hear the Monty Williams?
Do what?
Did you hear the Monty Williams thing tonight?
No. What'd he say?
Oh, I had that pulled up. Give me 1 second.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's tweet up.
While you're pulling that up, I want to tease you with something. I think I solved a problem for the Grizzlies. It was a fun hypothetical scenario we were discussing, me and the homeboy Brax. And I know it's a little bit of a ridiculous scenario or question, but it was just fun to dive into it as we saw the Grizzlies just wax the Warriors without Ja Morant, and everybody's pondering, are the Grizzlies actually better without Ja? Could they even think about trading Ja? So we just went down that road of, hey, if they were to trade Ja, what would make the most sense and what would what could actually feasibly happen on both sides? Dude, trading Ja Morant for Damian Lillard?
Nah.
You don't like it?
No, I don't.
Ooh,
One, I'm not sure. Knowing the abdominal issue that's plagued Dame for about a year now. Because he said it happened that he had it before. Well, that's finally gotten too bad for him to deal with because he had it for years. He's finally had surgery on it. I'm kind of worried if Dame's and his build, I'm not worried Dame's body might be breaking down.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get the best, like the Dame Lillard of old anymore.
That's true. That's true.
That's my one question. That's my one curious thing with Dame.
Yeah.
I don't know if his body's going to be there like that anymore, sadly.
That is true. I didn't think about that. My more logic scenario and kind of how the conversation got brought up, because I posed, I started really thinking, I think the best comparison to Ja Morant besides Damian Lillard is Russell Westbrook, one of these free, athlete point guards, but somebody who really demands the ball. Like for them to be their best, they have to have the ball in their hands. So I started thinking, that's great on an individual level, but on a team level, does that get to be more of a detriment? Because you got to think too, like if you got your point guard holding the ball most of the time, you're not getting your other teammates involved. So like the Grizzlies shoot way better when Ja isn't on the floor. And that's because the ball is constantly getting spread around and guys are getting their shots up and they're creating that rhythm. So I don't know. I think that's been kind of fun to think about too, because there may be a little bit of truth to that.
Yeah. I think for one thing, but I think the difference is those guys actually fully enjoy, like Ja makes them feel involved.
Oh, yeah.
And those guys don't get frustrated with it, which I think makes a big difference there.
Yeah.
The one issue with Ja that makes them such a different team is the defensive aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Now, shout out to Amina Hassan for pointing out who they beat without Ja this year. And it being like a bunch of scrubs and the Bucks and the Nets one time.
Except for that, I mean, it's hard to just gloss over that 72-point victory against the Thunder, though. Even though it is the Thunder,
is it though?
That's still really impressive. That's in my book.
It is impressive. It is impressive for sure. For sure, it is impressive. But no, I think they do play like two different teams because, like you said, like they're very reliant. They're really content ball watching offensively when Ja is there. And to me, I think part of that goes back to coaching as well.
Yeah. That's
like
true.
It's like you're coaching two different teams. Like coach these guys to move. I think I want to see Ja get better off ball because, like you said, these heliocentric offensive guys, man, like the non-off ball movement. If you're not 37 like LeBron, I need to see you moving off the ball.
Yeah.
Or if your body's not 37 like James Harden, I need to see you moving off the ball.
Yeah. And
you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the big issue there.
I think what really needs to get broken up, which I don't know what their contracts look like and all that, but I like them individually as players, but giving me Desmond Bane as my 2 and Dylan Brooks as my 3, when just looking at them on the court, you rip their numbers off. I can't tell half the time who's who because they both play the same way. They're both practically the same size. So it's practically like having the same person playing, 2 different roles for your team. So
Bane is a cold shooter though. Bane's a cold shooter though.
He is,
he's a sharpshooter.
But like with all sharpshooters, you're going to get your nights where they're not shooting anything at all. Yeah. I think he did pretty. I saw a stat on him early. It was pretty good for Bane. He played 17 minutes. My bad. All right, is that Monty?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I guess we get back on top. We get back to that. Yeah. Phoenix Suns. Yeah. Monty Williams. DeAndre Ayton gone. He was asked about DeAndre Ayton. Why he only played 17 minutes today and
played 17 minutes, and so he didn't play most of the fourth quarter. Is there any reason why? Is he hurt or is it internal? Our coach played 17 minutes.
Very direct. It's internal, and then an awkward silence.
Yeah. So maybe he felt like Ayton's already mentally somewhere else.
That sounds like a wrap on that thing.
Yeah.
I got to give Mo Dakhil his credit because Mo Dakhil said on the Athletic Podcast Basketball Buzz last week, he asked the question, would you pay DeAndre Ayton? And he's like, I would not pay him. And it drew disagreements because he was like, nah, Ayton's putting up, solid numbers on both ends of the court. And he's like, but he's making no impact on the game. And I'm like, it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
And then after the day, I'm like, ooh. Yeah. And the questions with him have always been kind of like, he doesn't have the real killer like I'm just gonna be the biggest person on the court and go get something. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have that. That's not who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And it's cool. But it's like, can you make that one of your cornerstones of your franchise if that's not the mentality? That's the question.
I agree with that. Even though last year during the playoffs, though, he really did show flashes of the potential to have that killer instinct.
Exactly.
And while he probably consistently doesn't contribute in making a big impact on these games, there are games where Ayton has like made huge impacts. It's just, are you going to get that consistently? So,
and if you're not getting the consistency, do you max it? Because truthfully, Andrew Wiggins was like that with Minnesota, bro. It wasn't consistent. They paid him thinking it would get consistent, and it didn't.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I got to kind of think too, though, is that more Ayton's fault or the coaching staff's fault? Because I may be wrong on this, but if we're just looking at how the offense is operated from last year to this year, and maybe they kind of even changed over this season, Ayton was a lot more involved. There's a lot more like screen and rolls called for him.
It did feel like that, right?
Yeah, and now it looks like they didn't scheme up anything for Ayton this year, or especially in these playoffs. It was really just get down on the block and get open.
Yeah, there were a few games where that was a question from him, like, "Yo, Ayton, I feel like Ayton's not involved a lot. I feel like you can get the ball to him more." I do wonder about
that's why I would be totally okay with him coming to Atlanta, and I think he would perform better in Atlanta. Yeah. I mean, exactly. I'm desperate here. I'll take anybody, but except for Donovan Mitchell. But I think if you're getting Ayton involved earlier on or consistently and making him that cornerstone of the offense, I think that translates over to defense too. Because when you're performing well offensively, you're naturally gonna want to play better defensively too.
It's the real struggle of the big man, right? It's like they want you to anchor the defense, then they might have passed you the ball. You have to stay engaged. You just have to stay engaged all game, man, because you don't know when your opportunity's coming. It's the forever paradox there. I don't know what the Suns do going forward. I don't feel like they should do anything drastic. I know this was like a really embarrassing way to go out, but I don't feel like they need to do anything drastic. Do you?
No, except for what is it with Ayton this year? He's still on his rookie contract, right? Does it end this year or is it the option?
This is it. Yeah, he's a restricted free agent this year.
Okay, yeah. And I know he wants the max. And the Suns have been pretty adamant all year on Ayton's not getting the max. Exactly. So that's why the trade scenarios or proposals have been high.
I think the difference was last year they wanted to do 4 years and he wanted 5. I think that was the big difference. Yeah. So like we'll see what changes this offseason. It's similar to the John Collins thing with John Collins in Atlanta when they were going through that.
Yeah.
About his contract. It kind of reminds me of that.
I think the Suns actually do need to make some. All right. So I got the picture of it. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. So Mikal Bridges, Landry Shamet, they're signed through 2026. Chris Paul is signed through 2025. Devin Booker is signed through 2024. The free agents are Ayton, JaVale, Holiday, Payton, and Biyombo. So Ayton's gone. McGee's probably gone. I don't know, unless you want to keep him as a backup. I don't expect Biyombo getting I don't expect any of them really coming back. I mean, those aren't any names that really stick out besides Ayton, of course. Something's got to be done. Crowder's not on here. Crowder's not on this list. Okay. This was just a graphic from TNT that they showed during the.
I think those role players. Yeah, I think those role players are kind of interchangeable. Those type of guys are kind of interchangeable, so I don't think they lose too much there. If they
definitely want to keep Bridges.
For sure. I thought Bridges was on. I thought Bridges
he's on through 2026. I'm saying that's one guy I'm okay with.
I got you.
Extending, through and
I got you.
Keeping him in the long term.
I actually do think I would bring back JaVale McGee. I'm not gonna lie. Just hard hustle dude, man. I would bring him back. I do think getting some more. I don't know, maybe getting stronger on the wings. Like I think they could use like a Reggie Bullock, or Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith is one of the best contracts in basketball. That dude. That dude was getting underpaid. I think somebody like that would be a great help to them. But I feel like they have the pieces you would want. As a team build, they had the pieces you would want. I don't think I'm saying they don't have to do anything drastic because I don't think you can build on the Chris Paul thing. The Chris Paul and Devin Booker thing, the pairing, there is something there with that pairing and it works.
Mhm.
It's just about, I think it's about the mentality and keeping the mentality right, keeping bodies right, more than anything else for them. I don't see anything drastic for them to do personally, but yeah, I think small changes,
I just think
small incremental changes would help for sure.
Yeah,
I'm thinking in terms of like the core like contributors. I don't think they do anything drastic with those guys.
Well, you're gonna have to replace Ayton with somebody good because I mean, matter of fact, is
Capella coming?
Do what?
Capella coming.
Capella. Is he a restricted free agent? Is Ayton a restricted free agent? Like what? Why is it?
They can match any offer. They can match any offer he gets.
Okay, so why are people like putting these trade scenarios out there?
Sign and trade.
A sign and trade. Okay. Yeah, because that would be Capella. Because I've seen Capella and Collins both going over there. Different things like that. Which if it was those two alone, then that would be pretty good for the Suns. But
not a bad move.
Next year, like the West is just going to get stronger though. We think Kawhi and PG are going to be back, so the Clippers will be back to themselves. And
the Nuggets will be healthy.
Nuggets will be healthy, exactly. So yeah, you're going to have to do something. You gotta do something.
You do. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You really can't stand pat.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I just had a thought that I said earlier. The Suns, were kind of called flukes for making the title last year. That title run last year. Because of all the injuries they played against.
Yeah. And they
maybe they do need to blow it up.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting rid of Chris Paul, bro. I'm getting rid of Chris Paul because is he gonna make the improvement next year, bro, at 38 years old? I mean, what are we doing with that?
He won't turn 38 till the playoffs.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, still 38 in the playoffs when we need him to step up.
Right.
Yeah. I think
the evolution honestly,
deal.
I think the evolution honestly revolves around Devin Booker improving his game as a playmaker and learning how to maneuver out of like double teams, traps, stuff like that. I think that is the next evolution because Devin takes another step as a playmaker, as a scorer, all around. All right, it's all around player. I think their level goes up another spot. Like I said, bro, the West is gonna be tough. It's really gonna be matchup based, man. Yeah. These playoffs, because of the way parity has become a thing in this league, which I have a conflicting relationship with. It does seem like the matchups you get are going to matter way more. It used to be talent is overwhelming. It'd be a bad matchup, your talent's gonna overwhelm it. Now it just feels like so much closer on the margins because there's so many good players in the league that like. It's going to be a closer fight for everything. Yeah. Like everything's going to be a fight. Seeding's going to matter more than anything.
Yeah, it really is. So yeah, blow it up, Phoenix. Also, I don't know how high his ceiling is.
That Chris Paul to Atlanta take is terrible. I just have to say it. So I don't think I think it's that's a terrible
thank
take.
You for being honest with me. Thank you. Thank you for at least giving me
Chris Paul Trae Young backcourt sounds like the worst thing in sports.
I told you, bro, I'm desperate. Like my logic has fallen out the window, bro.
You want everything except Donovan Mitchell.
Exactly. And now I'm starting to get hung up on, am I being too harsh on Donovan Mitchell? Should I just be okay with us getting Donovan Mitchell? But
I mean, I think Donovan Mitchell works, but it doesn't work because
the defense. I don't trust on defense.
Who is playing defense?
And those are two like dudes who get so erratic when like times get tough, bro. Like both Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell just seem to short circuit and they just do crazy stuff. So yeah, I can just see them trading possessions of turnovers.
And I love Donovan. I don't want that.
Yeah.
And I think Donovan's fine with the point guard that drew. I think Donovan's fine playing off ball and just focus on getting buckets, but like I don't want to see those two together.
You know the best fit for Donovan Mitchell is, unfortunately. The Knicks. If you want the who?
The Knicks.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, if he wants the green light kind of offensively to go do what he wants.
Truthfully, I don't even think New York want to win a championship. They just want to be happy. Yeah. And he can make them happy consistently.
Yeah, he could. No, that's a great point. Mine was going to be, and just because it's been trending, he expressed his interest in the Hawks and the Heat. And I was like, well, if he wants to improve defensively, he can go to the Heat.
He's not going to have a choice. He definitely have a choice.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. So that's definitely improve or get out scenario.
Will Duncan Robinson see the court in the conference finals?
Well, here's another theory in that.
Sorry.
I think Spo is doing as one of his evil genius type things where he's pulling, he's like, oh, Duncan's just
he's
the
pulling
X
puppet strings?
factor.
Yeah.
Or he's
Yeah.
he's got one in the bag, one up the sleeve, and it's Duncan Robinson. So they'll throw Duncan in at one of these points. He'll go off and be like, oh my
I love
God.
that. I just remember, I haven't forget. Every time I see Duncan Robinson struggle, I just think back to the bubble finals when he was scared to shoot for like the first couple games.
Mhm.
And the report with Eric Spoelstra literally yelled at him, shoot the effing ball.
Yeah.
Like Spo literally yelled that at him. Ever since then, I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to do with Duncan.
Yeah.
It's
No.
sad though. I do feel sad for Duncan Robinson. I be empathizing for people who be struggling with confidence.
No,
I
and
feel sad for him, honestly. I really do.
I'm glad you're the person on the show who feels sad. Somebody's got to. So I'm glad you stepped up to the plate to take that role because I don't feel sad for him.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I know we kind of bounced around randomly, but where we go, where we need to go to, we gotta get some structure back. See if
I was
we
going to
can make this
ask,
proper.
is our not the experts Luca correspondent, is he up?
Let me see. I sent him the link and he read it and didn't answer the phone. I'm about to call him. Let me see.
Did you have anything else?
Think so. I think I'm good. Did you see that video of Budenholzer falling on laying on the court today?
No.
That was great. It was after during when the foul quarter happened, and it was just a foul on everything.
Mhm.
It was one of those like Budenholzer. He dropped to his knee. He like did the the coach thing where they fall to their knees and grab their head. Then he just laid on the court. He was done.
That's awesome.
He was finished.
That's awesome. I do have one more thing. It's just parting stats, I guess, between the Mavs and Suns. And TNT had this, so I took a picture of it. The Mavericks victory was the second largest road win in Game 7 history. It is tied for fifth largest win in Game 7 history, but the one I thought was most intriguing, Doncic and Dinwiddie are the first teammates with 30-plus points in Game 7 since Shaq and Kobe in 2002.
Really?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
I'm surprised LeBron and Kyrie didn't do it.
I don't think Kyrie ever. Didn't it seem like, no.
No, they had that game 5, they both went for 40.
Oh, the Game 5, yeah. It wasn't.
Yeah, I thought in Game 7. No, I guess nobody probably even hit 30 points in Game 7 because that game was ugly.
Yeah,
I think it was quietly disgusting.
Yeah, yeah. I think Kyrie got high 20s. He was like,
I think that sounds right.
Something like that. Yeah,
that sounds right actually. Just for funsies at this point.
Oh, so can we end it with this?
Yes.
And your
Draymond Green had the game high in Game 7. By the way, I'm sorry.
How many did he have?
32.
Oh wow! I forgot Draymond could score like that.
He forgot to. It was literally like the best. It was like the best game he's ever had. He was so locked in that Game 7, and then he had no help.
Oh
like, Draymond didn't have offensive help. It was nasty. Okay, Kyrie and LeBron finished with 26, 27 respectively.
Oh, okay. So the Cavs only scored 50 points that night.
Nah, they got 12 from J.R. Smith, bro.
Oh.
That's right.
9-89. In your personal record book, Titus, is Chris Paul a top 5 point guard?
Probably, because I go off my generation more than anything, and like
you remember,
I think he's the best pure point guard of my generation.
You think so?
Yeah,
I know that you've been that since day one, and you've been on that since day one.
Yeah, like of our generation, I can't think of any point guard better than Chris. I mean, except for maybe Steph. Wait.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to find the.
It's because
wait, are you talking about just are you making your personal top 5 just off of your lifetime?
Well, I'm putting the guys that I see in my lifetime. I try and put them on the list. You know what I'm saying? I know ain't on the list.
Who?
Bob Cousy.
Oh yeah. And Bob Cousy didn't even make Mad Dog's top 5 either. He was just the honorable mention.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
he's not above Bob Cousy. Not above Bob Cousy. That's right.
Chris Paul made an honorable mention too, so they're both on the.
That's right.
OLI. Let me find Mad Dog's top 5 real quick. All right, so number 5, Steph Curry. Number 4, this is the craziest one to me. He had Jason Kidd at number 4. above Steph Curry. Number 3, Isaiah Thomas. Number 2, Oscar Robertson. Number 1, Magic Johnson. It wasn't a bad top 5 list. It really wasn't.
It's not a bad top 5, honestly. It's not a bad top 5. I'm not mad.
And knowing who Chris Russo is, he's going to have his people in, his generation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. All respect to the Big O, the triple double king. But if you play before the 3-point line existed, you don't make my list.
No. Was Oscar Robertson in the 60s?
I don't care about that era. Yeah.
Yeah.
61 to 74 is his career.
I don't like the Jason Kidd one.
I don't like that much either.
You know who I replaced Jason Kidd with?
Who's that?
The ultimate controversial point guard. I think Steve Nash. I'd throw Steve Nash in there.
You have Steve Nash there. You have Steve Nash. We have Steve Nash with Curry.
No, I mean I'm okay with putting Curry at 4 and slide Steve Nash at 5.
Yeah.
What do you think about
Steve and Chris Paul kind of got a similar thing where they don't win championships? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they're both in Phoenix, not choking. That's crazy. No Stockton on your list?
See, I'd probably slide. Exactly, bro. I mean, if I'm just doing my personal top 5 where I don't have to put much merit behind.
Much thought,
exactly.
Just I don't have to.
I don't have to write a paper to persuade somebody of why they're top 5. Yeah, I'm putting Stockton in there, and just because I would use the whole all-time leading assist.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a point guard's number 1 responsibility. So
it is, and it has to be said. As much as they failed and lost, he and Karl Malone never missed playoffs when they played together. Ever. Yeah, they made playoffs every single year, which is pretty insane. It's also
and
pretty
they didn't
insane
have a supporting cast,
but that's another story.
Yeah, it was just them.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to name 5 right now. Magic for sure, because I just the Magic stories. I gotta go with Magic. Magic is there. Steph Curry is there. That's auto bid. Steph Curry. Stockton might be there for me. Isaiah Thomas is there for sure. That's 4. Stockton's off. I gotta think again.
I'm looking up.
I'm gonna have Chris. I'm gonna have Chris above. I'm gonna have Chris up there, not Stockton.
Okay.
That's 4. So
you want to hear Stephen A's?
Magic, Steph. Yeah. I need more ideas.
Stephen A pretty much has the same list as Mad Dog does, but he's got them in a different order, and he replaced Jason Kidd with Chris Paul. So it's number 1 Magic, number 2 Steph Curry, number 3 Oscar Robertson, number 4 Isaiah Thomas, number 5 Chris Paul.
Okay, so Oscar Robertson's off the list. So
yeah,
I'm going Magic. I'm going Steph. I'm going Paul. This is in order. I'm going Paul. I'll take Kidd. Fine. I mean, apparently Kidd's top 5 point guard. I don't remember.
What's the deal with Kidd? What makes him a top 5, over Steve Nash? That's what I don't get.
He was great in the early. He was great with those Nets teams in the early 2000s when basketball was disgusting.
Yeah.
That early 2000s era is disgusting era of basketball.
Yeah.
That basketball was just nasty.
Yeah.
It was just nasty basketball, and I hate it. And I'm glad people are trying to glorify it because it was sick work. What's up? You found Chris Paul stats?
No, I typed in
Jason Kidd stats.
I typed in Jason Kidd versus Steve Nash. The first thing that pulled up, I did not know this. On December 7th in 2006, Steve Nash and Jason Kidd balled out in one of the greatest point guard duels of all time. Have you heard about this?
I have not.
You want to hear what the final score was?
Talk to me.
161 to 157.
What?
Yeah, bro. This sounds like a great game.
SVP here, and I'm running this show. The Utah Jazz got smacked.
Sorry. I would know StatMuse. It started yelling at me. The StatMuse app, I don't like StatMuse. You got to stop having your apps yelling at me because I don't like it. It be stressing me out.
Yeah, whenever we get done with this, I'm about to go watch on YouTube the House of Highlights 11-minute highlight of Steve Nash versus Jason Kidd.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
How about tomorrow? We both roll out each of our top 5 point guards too. We'll have our.
I'm good with that.
List.
Yes, I'm good with that. So you just edit this part completely out. Just remove it. Are you gonna keep our fumbling around?
I'll keep a little bit of this in for the teaser. Yeah, to let everybody know.
That works.
Yeah, thank you everybody for listening. Of course, go at NTE Podcast on our Instagram, where our link tree is to go find all of our socials. I think we still have a store up. So if you want to go buy something from the store, you can do that. Sorry about the shipping and handling. It's expensive. I'll cut that. That's not a good salesperson. Cut that. Anyways, make sure to tune in for us tomorrow too, as we both give our top 5 point guard list all time.
Yes.
And we talk about the losers and the matchups for the rest of the playoffs.
And you want me to end the show like a Magic Johnson tweet?
Oh yeah. Do we have an updated Magic Johnson tweet from?
I think OG is asleep.
Come on, man. He's on the West Coast. What's he doing sleeping?
He's like 60. Oh, we do have an update.
Yes.
1 hour ago. Congratulations to Luka Doncic, all Dallas Mavericks players, Coach Jason Kidd, the entire coaching staff, and Mark Cuban for a deep performance over the Phoenix Suns to advance to the Western Conference Finals. That's first tweet. Second tweet. Superstar Luka Doncic came to play tonight, leading the Mavericks with 35 points and 10 rebounds. Spencer Dinwiddie added 30 points off the bench.
What are the magic words?
He's got AIDS.